Hello there. Well, today I'm going to talk about choice. Oh, you know, when God made man and woman, he made thinking creatures. He made creatures that could reason. He didn't make robots. He didn't make unintelligent creatures. He didn't make creatures that could have no personal thoughts. He created us in his image, and he gave us free will. And free will is such a fundamental part of the human condition, and it is the wrong use of free will that has led to so many problems in our world. At every point in our lives, we have choice. We have a choice over so many things. Every day we make decisions, loads and loads and loads of decisions, some of them very small and very insignificant. But at every moment we have choice. We have freedom, especially in the kind of world we live in the Western world. We have supremely freedom. And we can see what happens in countries where people's freedoms are restricted and how much suffering comes from one person trying to impose on another person their will. We see it in the awful things that are happening in Afghanistan with regards to the people there, especially to the women. And I was only reading yesterday that they have banned music even from being played in cars. They make choices and they impose them on other people. When Jesus came as a baby, everyone who was involved in the first Christmas had a choice. Mary had a choice. She could have declined. She could have said no. She was not forced to be the mother of Jesus. She was given an invitation and a choice. And once that choice was made, she followed it through for the rest of her life. Joseph was the same. He had a choice. He could have signed Mary off, divorced her secretly, kept his good name. He could have missed out on all the experiences of being the stepfather of Jesus himself. The shepherds, they had a choice. They could have ignored what the angels said. The angels didn't force them to go down to Bethlehem. They told them. They said, go and look. Go and see for yourselves. They didn't tie them hand and foot and drag them there. They had a choice. The Magi, the wise men, when they saw the star in the east, they saw it. They could have said, oh, that's interesting. Let's write a book about it. We could write down all about this star that we've seen. They had a choice. Something in them said, we must follow that. We must follow that light. See where it goes. I think it's a fulfillment of prophecy. I think this is what we must follow. They could have stayed at home, any of them. Maybe some people who saw that star and who could have travelled with them did stay at home and say, well, and perhaps after the first 3 months they thought, cool, we're a long way from home, let's go home. Is it ever going to stop moving? Are we ever going to get there? They could have stopped at any point. But their choice led them to see the baby child, the baby king. The boy king, perhaps is better to say. And here we are at Christmas. We're post-Christmas really now. And we have seen afresh the wonder of the baby born in the stable and laid in a manger. The wonder of God become man. We've seen it. And The choice is always before us. Are we going to let the events of Christmas change our lives? That's our choice. Are we going to let the realization of who Jesus is, that this is God come in the flesh, that this is an intervention from heaven into the affairs of mankind? Are we going to let Jesus get in the way of our life and change our life? Are we going to? It's our choice. You know, and it's traditionally, isn't it? I mean, probably you don't do this, but a lot of people do. They come to the beginning of the new year and they think, right, well, I'm going to try do things differently this year. I'm going to have some New Year's resolutions. There are things I'm going to stop doing and there are things I'm going to start doing. I'm going to be different. I'm going to make some resolutions. Usually resolutions for one's betterment or for the betterment of one's family. But Jesus presents a stark choice, just like he did to those first disciples. You know, when he saw them at the lakeside, he said, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." And they left everything and followed him. They made the choice. And that choice changed the entirety of the rest of their lives. Apart from the occasional fishing trip that they made, they did not live their lives as fishermen. They changed direction. They followed. And John chapter 3, where we have that lovely, so well-known, famous verse, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have eternal life." When we realize who Jesus is, we start an eternal life. And it goes on to say that God didn't send Jesus to condemn the world, but to save it. But the truth is, it says in verse 19, "This is the judgment, that the light has come into the world, and men loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil." There are people who look at Jesus and they like bits of what Jesus did and bits of what he said, but they don't want to stop doing some of the things that they're doing, so they don't make a full commitment. Let us resolve at the beginning of what will be a new year that we will be committed to following Jesus wherever he leads, committed to living our lives in the light rather than in the darkness. That would be a very good New Year's resolution. But we can make that choice any day that we like. For me, that choice was made on the first Tuesday of November 1964 to follow Jesus. And I've been following him the rest of my life. And I will go on following him till I meet him in glory. Make the choice. Put the line in the sand. From this moment onward, the fact that Jesus was born and he came to save me, I will follow him. I will live in his light. I will resolve to be different. I will resolve to make a choice. A choice needs to be made. Don't dither. Make a choice. If you've never made a choice for Jesus, this is the day to make a choice for Jesus. And if you could hear it, you would hear heaven celebrating when that choice has been made. I'm out of time now. God bless you. Have a great day. I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.